Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my channel, and this is Dendris, and thank you for coming over and watching the videos. Hope hope they're fun and interesting for you guys, and maybe some informative insights into my experiences as ex-submariner. Um, we are here next to our boat, U48. Um, we have filled up our fuel tanks. Um, we're torpedoes. We didn't come across last episode any merchants that we had to use torpedoes. So we did a lot of gunnery action. This time we're hoping that we'll go ahead and go for some convoys this time. We'll do a tonnage war episode.
Wir sind schon so lange auf
Um,
See. Ich halt's nicht mehr aus.
so uh, we're gonna go and talk to the leading officer and get our mission and get on our way. So let's go talk to him here.
Beim BDU wird viel über Ihre letzte Patrouillenfahrt geredet. Gute Arbeit. Dies sind die heutigen Aufträge vom BDU. Streng geheim.
Oh, interesting. Now they got a Norwegian campaign. Nice. Okay. Yeah, tonnage war, North Sea. Really, not a lot of luck with the North Sea there. The area here, the North British Isles, north of Scotland there, or the Celtic Sea. Yeah, so I definitely think we want to go for. Boy, so the preparations to invade neutral Norway are underway for a few weeks. When the operation begins, troop ships escorted by surface warships will depart to invade major Norwegian ports. U-boat forces' role will be to intercept Royal Navy warships and troop ships that may be sent to recapture the ports and aid surface warships with the escort duty. Yeah, I don't know. So that ends on the 10th of June. I think that might be something interesting to do. I really would like to do a convoy though. Yeah, definitely. I think a convoy campaign. Maybe we can go back to this after we finish the tonnage war here. I think with the Norwegian campaign, it's all right. It can be kind of difficult sometimes because um, trying to stay ahead of the convoy, making sure you listen. It can be done. It's not like super difficult or anything. I think the most difficult part about the Norwegian campaign is taking care of the intercepting British ship that they send your way, right? The Royal Navy warship is probably the hardest. It's either a destroyer or a corvette, and it can be difficult to take care of. But it can be done. It just can be kind of difficult. let's go ahead and do the tonnage war. Get that done. Maybe we can reach 100,000 gross rate tons. 100,000 tons. I'll just say 100,000 tons. All right. So let's go. All right.
Kurs setzen. Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Legen Sie den Kurs an. Schneller, schneller!
All right. We're in the English Channel. Just about made it through, and spotted an aircraft, and so we're going to go ahead and crash dive. We've already set up our speed for flank, so we're going to crash dive here.
Wechseln auf E-Motor.
Auf Seerohrtiefe. Feindliche Flugzeuge auf 8 Uhr. Dreißig.
100 Meter.
Fünfzig. 60. Wasserbomben. Wasserbomben. 70.
Yeah, so that's the early U-boat.
80.
The early U-boats, they didn't have a lot of anti-aircraft protection, so your best bet is just to dive, crash dive.
Schiffsschrauben, Herr Kaloi.
Later in the war, when you get some upgrades, you'll have better anti-aircraft
70.
protection guns, so you can protect yourself a little bit better from the aircraft. Possibly even take them on. It's a dangerous proposition. Sometimes you don't have much of a choice.
80.
But I don't. I'm not going to risk it at this time. Not this early in the war. So we'll stay down for a little bit and let it lose interest, and then maybe in about an hour we'll go ahead and check the periscope depth, make sure the coast is clear, and then carry on. So, one of the things that I thought I'd share with you guys is the fact that for your officers, um, this is a gameplay thing, um, but for your officers, uh, make sure that they have a breathing apparatus. I give a breathing apparatus to each of my officers because they can drown, and this allows them to work in compartments that are flooded for a short period of time. Obviously, longer than if they didn't have it. So you don't want to, if possible, you don't want to lose your officers. So give each one of them one of the breathing apparatuses when you can. It will really help. Um, and so that's my recommendation for you guys. Also, for your mechanics, your chief engineer and torpedo mechanic, what I like to do is let me close this door here. So I like to give them also replacement parts. Okay, at least one of your mechanics, give them some replacement parts, just extra storage, so you can add replacement parts a little bit more in your storage room, and he'll have them on in it, and he can have them on his self too. Right, so just a way of using up the storage efficiently, I guess. Best way to describe it. So just thought I'd share that bit of hint or advice, I guess, from a gameplay perspective.
Bestätigt.
All right. So traveling traveling the English Channel is a perilous thing to do, especially for submarines. For any German warship, definitely got to be careful. Lots of aircraft flying around. So we're crash diving because we just spotted another aircraft, and seems like they were heading our way.
Meter.
Fünfzig. 60. 80.
All right, I didn't hear any depth charges this time. So maybe we either the aircraft didn't have any depth charges, or it didn't know we dived soon enough that it
70.
didn't have a chance to spot where we submerged. So, but it's all good. Again, we'll stay underwater for a little bit and wait for him to pass. All right, looks like either a rain squall or has come in, and so that might be why we got lucky with the depth charges as far as the aircraft. We kind of hid in the rain squall, I guess, pretty much. And so we're gonna use the opportunity that the rain squall gives us to go ahead and surface as soon as it's clear, and continue on our way. But definitely, it's good. Rain squalls will help hide you from aircraft. It will help. Limits the visibility. So let's take advantage of it. I think it's a really beautiful game. I think just seeing the U-boat in the water, and the wave action, and the way the lights kind of reflect off the boat's hull. Don't mind me if I say ship. Sometimes I just bad habit, but off the boat's hull, right? If you remember, we call submarines boats, not ships. But anyways, little bit of a squall, little bit of a squall going on. Sun's peeking out there, and so I'm hoping this will just pass us by pretty soon. One other thing I want you guys to keep an eye on is your external hatch. When you're in rough seas like this, and normally you probably keep that closed. There's no reason to have it opened. So when you're in rough seas, that water can pour in there, and you can quickly fill up with water. So make sure that you guys keep that hatch closed. That was something I kind of learned when I first played. I didn't really watch that, and there were quite a few times when I was just starting to really fill up with water. So just something to keep in mind. So here we are in the conning tower. We're gonna go ahead and go topside here. But just to check things out, closed the hatch on the guy. Poor guy. That would hurt your head. So these this rough seas, and talking about the hatch there. I remember a story my brother told me from the East Coast. They were having a storm that was coming in, a hurricane or whatever, and then so they were leaving the port. So the Navy had the all the ships and boats and submarines leave the port, to get out of the way of the hurricane. And my brother said that it was pretty shallow. So if you're not familiar with the East Coast, it's fairly shallow. Has a wide continental shelf. But the captain wouldn't dive the ship, and the officer of the deck was in the middle of the storm. They're surfaced. The officer of the deck is just begging the captain to dive the boat, I think is what he was saying. And water was just crashing over the conning tower. I think the captain was saying it would be a good experience for the officer of the deck. But water was just pouring down the hatch there, and just thought it was kind of interesting that that they didn't dive, and I imagine it's because it was fairly shallow. But I couldn't imagine, if you can imagine, just being in the middle of this giant storm, water pouring over you, and going down the hatch. So the officer of the deck, he was probably not alone. He probably had some of the other crew up there standing topside watches. So I imagine those poor fellows got really soaked. But also, so these guys should have, if you're topside in the rough weather like this, I imagine you should have some kind of cable hookup so you don't get washed overboard, because you can really quickly get washed overboard in the rough seas like this. You'd be surprised at how powerful water is. I don't think you guys realize something, or I think some people don't realize how powerful water can be when it's flowing. It doesn't take much for it to knock you off your feet and just carry you away. So definitely should have some hookups, cables hooking you up to the superstructure so you don't drown, get washed overboard. But anyways, I just thought I'd share that little snippet. Now see if I can get down. And if you guys have any experiences, feel free to talk about your experiences, or leave a comment letting us know what experiences you guys have had. One thing I noticed too is boat doesn't, you don't really see a lot of movement of the boat like you would think when it's on the surface. I mean, you can definitely tell it's rough out there because you can see these swinging back and forth and stuff, but it's kind of hard to tell. Definitely when it's rough, you do see the movement of the boat, and I'm talking gameplay wise, not and realistically, I think things would be a little bit rougher in the boat on the surface. But for the gameplay, yeah, you do see some movement. Not as deep dives and swings as you think you should see, or when you're up in the rough weather like that. See what is what's our bilge look like here. Yeah, so I like to, anytime it's above 1 meter of water, I'll go ahead and turn on the pump. see the pump motors working there. Definitely it's a wet one. Alright guys, we'll go ahead and continue. Alright guys, the storm has passed. And we've managed to make it to our patrol area. We're going to go ahead and go on our search pattern. We're going to head north a little bit in the patrol area and kind of see if we can kind of parallel the convoy routes. Usually the convoys are a little north of here. You may find some convoys that are coming from the south, but a lot of stuff is coming east-west. At least that's what we're going to do. We're going to go search out the east-west convoys and see if we can catch any of those. So that's a pretty nice. It's a lot calmer than it was before, and hopefully we don't run into any more aircraft. It can get annoying. But definitely I want to get a different superstructure conning tower later as soon as we can, because we can add some more anti-aircraft guns and maybe bag us some aircraft. You know, just to change things up a little bit, have a little bit more fun. Definitely wanted to, you know, you got to be careful doing that because when you're on the surface, you're a big target for those aircraft. So, but let's head up north, closer to the coast, and start our search pattern there. All right, so we're just coming up from sonar check, and we're gonna go investigate sonar contact, and we can see just in the distance there. See anywhere else around us? I know there was one farther east, but we're going to go ahead and head west, check out this sonar contact, and intercept it. And maybe bag our first merchant, our first catch of the day. Okay, getting closer to the contact. We're gonna go and I'm gonna see if I can recognize what flags are on the merchant there. Does look Swiss, doesn't it? Looks like a Swiss flagged freighter, but we might end up boarding her real quick because she's in the wrong place. So they might be flying a false flag blockade runner. So we'll get closer to her and check her out. All right. So this freighter is unarmed. Seems to not be escorted, and flies a neutral flag. That's Swiss flag there, looks like. Price rules allow us to sink such ships only if we are certain that they're headed towards the enemy port. They're in the area to head toward enemy port. If we lack such entry, ideally we should investigate what's carrying and verify its destination by performing an inspection. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do an inspection, check out their papers. Says if we have reason to feel certain that the ship is headed to an enemy port, we can communicate right away that we intend to sink it and proceed with the attack. I don't recommend doing that normally. If you can, send a delegation to the freighter. Try to have different speakers, and make sure you have a merchant and a navigator with you when you. Then it helps you finding out if they're lying or not. All right, so let's send a delegation. My captain has a merchant navigator experience, so he's definitely somebody that can, it's good to go on. He's an English speaker. Yeah, so yeah, go ahead and have 2 leaders, that's fine. And then maybe this radium in here, and we'll give a whole set, six crew, and that's the most you can do, I think, anyways, 6. So let's go ahead and investigate.
What do you need, officer?
Alright, so after climbing the deck, your crew faces a cold welcome from the cargo ship's crew. What do you want? Asked the captain in German without exchanging any pleasantries. This is a neutral ship and you shouldn't be here. Okay, well, I don't think you should be here either. So we're going to ask the captain for the shipping documents. And pretty much same thing we have with a lot of people. They look a little bit nervous when we're analyzing the documents. And it says the ship is directed at the Port of Vigo. Well, guess what? The Port of Vigo is down in Spain. And they're up here, in the Celtic Sea, up north. Yeah. It says they're transporting medical supplies. I believe that that could be true. It's not involved in any war effort, and sinking it could lead to a diplomatic incident of some degree. So we're going to put the pressure and state the documents seem to be false. And we're going to, doesn't look like they're traveling to Puerto Vigo. Definitely not. Aha. So, guess what? We questioned the authority. They definitely weren't going to the Port of Vigo. Helps to know your geography there, right? He finds some explanations, but after you repeatedly cast doubts, he breaks and admits that the documents are fake. It turns out that they're smuggling various goods to Britain under a false flag. Surprise, surprise. All right, so This freighter is considered a fair price. We can seek it without risking an international incident. All right. So go ahead and continue. So do we search cargo? We don't have any space. If we had space to put some cargo, I might search it and then maybe take some of the cargo later. But we're gonna go ahead and order evacuation. And so they're going to have to leave the ship. They're pretty close. They're close enough to the coast. They can just go up north, and they should be able to get to the Irish coast pretty easily, as long as they have a good navigator on board. All right, so let's return to the ship.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
All right, so we're going to. All right, so we're going to load up the deck gun. Get everybody on there that needs to be. All right. All right. So here we go. We're just gonna make quick work of her. Some holes in the stern. Some holes in the bow. Try to make sure she goes down fast. Which looks like she's doing she's going down pretty fast. Yeah, she's going down. Sometimes you gotta help them along though. Make sure there's lots of holes for the air to escape, and she doesn't just float to the surface. I've never had the boats. I've never had the ships, the merchant vessels. I've never had them try to run or attack us as of yet. I kind of wonder if they would do that. You know, you need to. There she goes. All right. All right. Let's stow our deck gun. And continue on our patrol. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and pick those guys up and then head on our patrol.
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
So as you can see, she was 6,000 tons. Nice big target. So that's kind of nice. So we're going to go ahead and pick up some survivors. Get those extra points. The captain looks like it went down with his ship. We'll go ahead and give the rest of that crew some supplies. I don't think, yeah, captain's not on board there. right. Nice, nice little merchant sunk there. Nice, good size. So we're going to go ahead and continue on our patrol. Keep searching this area. We might adjust our search pattern to match what seems to be the courses that we've seen for the merchants. Sometimes I do just a basic zigzag pattern. It's what I usually do. There's different patterns that you guys can do. Historically, there were different patterns that U-boats would do. But we're going to go ahead and adjust our pattern and see if we can catch any more ships. Definitely want to get out of the area, so we're going to speed up real quick and then just get out of the area, just in case they sent a broadcast out, a radio broadcast, and we don't want any aircraft spotting us. All right. So we got aircraft coming up our way. Not enough time to get out. Not enough time for us to. So we're just gonna try to dodge them as best we can. And as soon as we think we can dive safely, we'll do a crash dive. But I want to make sure that he is headed the opposite way from where we're going, right? So, oh, another aircraft. Uh-oh, 2 aircraft. All right.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
All right, let's go ahead and crash dive.
Alarm! Alarm tauchen!
And 2 aircraft is not something I really want to deal with at this moment. We only got 1 gun, so we're gonna go ahead and crash dive. 1 aircraft gun against 2 aircraft, just the odds are not in our favor. So let's
Legen Kurs an!
Jawohl.
let's go. Uh-oh. Here,
Wechseln auf E-Motor!
it's gonna be hurtful. This is gonna hurt.
Schneller.
Yeah, that was a close one, boy.
Meter.
Fünfzig.
Let's have our crew check for damage.
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloi.
60.
Likely, the game will tell you if there's like possible damage or if there's some damage, but doesn't seem like seems like we got down just in time. Really,
Herr Kaloi, ich habe eine große Gruppe von Schiffen festgestellt.
we were just I can't believe he had a perfect setup, that aircraft get us. One thing is you don't want to stay in that straight line, right? You want to make sure you're bobbing and weaving. You know, make sure you turn, stay fast on your feet. Make sure you do course corrections, change course, large course corrections, right? Hard right, hard left. Um, don't get set in a pattern. You know, because basically, if you're doing a pattern, you're going to just go in a straight line. So random. But we'll stay down. Stay down for a little bit, like we do, like we usually do, and then uh, go to periscope depth. Make sure that everything's safe.
Wechseln auf Dieselmotor. Alarm! Auf Gefechtsstation!
Feindliche Flugzeuge auf 1 Uhr.
All right, so another aircraft spotted. Right when we surfaced.
Legen Sie den Kurs an. Schneller, schneller! Kurs setzen.
We're just going to go ahead and see if we can shoot down this aircraft. I think we need our tanks filled up again. Our air flasks filled up. They're all right. They're at 85%, but going up and down like this is not going to help them very much. So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and see if we can evade a little bit and see what we can do. Definitely, if they add some more friends, we're gonna have to go dive down again. But we're gonna stay up a little bit long enough. It looks like he left. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and stay up this time. I'm sure they've radioed our position, so we're probably going to end up seeing some more aircraft. But let's try to make it quick to that contact that we heard.
Alarm abgebrochen!
Okay, so we're heading toward another merchant. This is the one that we originally were headed for when the aircraft were spotted. And so we're gonna just try to make it quick. Hopefully no more aircraft are headed our way. But I'm just hoping this will be quick and easy. It's what we like. Okay, we're on the periscope here. That's a Spanish flag. Definitely a Spanish flag ship there. I'm pretty sure that's Spanish. Well, that's a little bit trickier, I think. Spain was not in the war in World War II. It's likely flying a false flag, but Spain was not in the war at the time, and they were kind of friendly with Germany during World War II. So, especially after the Spanish Civil War. Oh, let's go check them out. They's likely to be a false flag, but we'll check it out. All right, we're getting ready to board the freighter. They've slowed down for us, and we've slowed down, and so we're going to go ahead and board them, inspect their cargo, inspect their papers, and might end up sinking another false flag smuggler.